I'm Chillmonger. Like the video. Let's begin. Let's begin at the beginning with Pokemon, okay? I've loved it for years. Every generation, except for Gen 3, I played. And then, of course, I replayed Gen 3. But here we go. We're at Sword and Shield. The E3 conference happens. We want to let you guys know that there's not going to be a full roster of Pokemon. Okay. Dislike that video on YouTube. Checked out all the Pokemon YouTubers. I'm like, yeah, okay. Most of them are turned down by it. Some of them were optimistic, like Hoops and Hip Hop. He wanted to be happy. That's his nature. Good for him. Time's passing, and I'm like, all right, they're not revealing too many Pokemon on the internet. They're waiting for you to have the experience while you play the game, and I'm like, that's actually kind of cool. I'm reading stuff about Galar, Dynamax. It doesn't really matter to me because I know Dynamax will be gone in the next generation. So whatever. Just because it's in it doesn't ruin the game for me. It's like Z Crystals. I'll just ignore it. I loved Mega Evolutions in Gen 6, which they kept for Gen 7, and then I don't think it's in Gen 8. Here we are now in Gen 8. I didn't purchase the game. I'm like, screw these guys. I'll just wait for Ultra Sword and Shield and get the completed version because they did me dirty with Sun and Moon. I wasn't a fan of Sun and Moon. I mean, it was a Pokemon game and I enjoyed it. So, like, even when I'm insulting a Pokemon game, it's a 7 out of 10, right? Like, I'm not going to be too angry. It was worth the money and everything. But knowing that Ultra Sun and Moon came later and it was much more polished, I probably just should have waited for that game. But I wasn't going to make that same mistake twice. So, holiday season of 2019 happens. Didn't pick it up. I don't even have a Switch. I'm just not picking up games because I don't want to support this. I'll wait next year. Time passes, and then the announcement that there will be downloadable content for Sword and Shield, the Frozen Tundra, and the Isle of Armor, and I'm like, damn it! I checked the sales, and apparently it sold more than Sun and Moon has sold in its opening week. I guess more people have Nintendo Switch than had Nintendo 3DS. That's not true. Because 3DS would have been out for like... Let me retract that. Let me retract everything I just said. Sword and Shield sold well, and the people who were anti-national decks, like me people, our voices were not received when the sales data came back. So everything that I was standing for in protest, I was boycotting, didn't matter. And then the pandemic hits. I got a little extra cash. And I got one of these things. I bought a whole Nintendo Switch, Pokemon Shield, and now I'm playing this Galar version. I'm playing the game and I'm like digging it. I haven't finished it yet. So it's been a month that I've played it. And if I told you how many hours I actually had, let's see. Let me go to the save. I'll tell you actually as I speak. But I'm enjoying the game more than I thought it would. I always knew if I played this game, yeah, I'm upset. It says playtime, 22 hours. 22 hours of playtime. I always told myself if I played this game, I would be happy with the story mode. And then it's only afterwards when I find out, there's only going to be a limited amount of Pokemon, which I think it was like in the 400s region. And then now that Isle of Armor has happened, if you download, you don't even have to have Isle of Armor. You just got to re-update. You will have more Pokemon that are permissible, which is cheap. I can see why they did it. They withheld something to make it feel like I'm getting something more when I download the DLC. That's a cheap trick, and I don't want to encourage that. So I'm like, I am not going to get the DLC. And then my brain kicks in because I just did this with, I'm not going to buy Sword and Shield. So it's actually that statement, but yet, with the word ... yet. They're going to make their decisions for the next 2 years from now based on the sales data they receive now. So I'll hold out. I'm not going to get Sword and Shield's DLC. I'm not missing much. I'm enjoying the game, though. The game is good. It's a big map. You never know where you're going to go. Wild Area is cool. Wild Area, it was huge when I first played the game. And now that I know where everything is, which specific trees are, where not to really go, it's like, yeah, it's big. It's just I'm not going to be operating on the west side because there's nothing there in the wild area, unless there is something that I'm missing out on. I know where the Ditto raid den is. I know where the nursery is. That's probably where I'm gonna be spending most of my time because you gotta hatch those eggs. Speaking of eggs, they changed the meta. You can give egg moves to a Pokemon, like it's already bred and everything. It's level 100. You put it in there, just delete its final move, and the male version will just teach it its egg move. Or the opposite gender will teach it an egg move, and that was never able to be done before. But that's like a really, really cool upgrade. You see the meta people, they weren't slacking. It's just the people, the business people, the people who were focused on, well, we're going to do DLC, so we got to withhold. Those guys effed up on the game. But the actual creativity that went into it, this was cool. I love the way that the gyms are. It's not challenges anymore, but it is challenges. They're just giving us both. Like I got to roll all of the roly poly Wooloo, that's the name of the Pokemon. But like rolling them and doing the challenge bit, battling trainers, it's everything that you wanted, everything that they tried in Sun and Moon, and everything they've always had with a little puzzle and mystery in the game. And they're making it work. I like the water gym that I just played. They're great. So this game is probably the best Pokemon game so far. Except for the story mode. We gotta give Black and White and Black and White 2 the best story mode. But this was like really cool. This is an enjoyable experience that I'm going through playing Sword and Shield. And if I got 22 hours on it and I'm halfway into the game, because I only have 4 badges, probably going to take another 22 hours. I'm probably going to be playing the game more, breeding more. My goal is to have, you see this list of all these Pokemon? I want to have a level 100 Alakazam, Modest Nature, ready to battle anytime. Which, by the way, you can just talk to a guy in the new DLC and he'll be able to just be like, okay, yeah, the Pokemon that you trained back in Gen 4 that you bred competitively is now available for the VGCs. So at least they're like officializing the old Pokemon. So I don't actually have to make a new team when I never battle VGC or anything crazy like that. But it's nice to know that all the hard work I'm doing training and egg moving and getting that Destinots and Everstones and getting a 6 IV Ditto, all the work that I did can move to the next generation. That's what's key to me. So yeah, I do gotta pay a little extra home. But that's where I am. Paying extra money for something that I know I love. But I don't wanna tell them that because I don't wanna give them leverage and give them, oh, we can abuse Chillmonger? Okay, we're gonna make more DLC for things that we know he needs. And since I spend so much time playing the game, it is well worth the money. Like if I just told you I played 22 hours, let's assume that I'll play 40 hours to defeat the game. And if you divide the price of the game, which was like 80 bucks Canadian, by 40 hours of gameplay, then it's really, I'm paying $2 an hour. I'm paying $2 for an hour of entertainment. You go to the movies and you pay maybe $10 for a 2-hour movie, but I'm getting 2 for an hour plus the post game, which I'm going to be spending so much time on. It is not. I mean, you got to pay the electricity to charge your stuff, right? That's also a factor. It's not an apples to apples comparison, but still, for the most part, all the time I'm going to be using on this is well worth it. It's actually time and money I could be spending on Netflix or other streaming services or elsewhere. The fact that this will take my time means might just save me money. So the DLC, is it worth it or not? Now tell me, this is what I need you for. Thanks for making it to the end of this video. Should I get the DLC? Have you got the DLC? How are you enjoying Isle of Armor? Are the Sharpedos really what it's being pumped up? Like I see all the memes of Sharpedo, how quick it is and catching up to people. It sounds interesting. I've seen someone on YouTube also playing it. Might have been Munching Orange. Regardless, that's my thought. That's where I sit right now on Pokemon. I caved in. I got my Sword and Shield. Now, tell me if I should get DLC. Chillmonger, I'm outie.